Are you asking questions? This is one of the most powerful ways that you can be a better boss, is asking questions. The way that you question, how you question, how much you question, all of that. Let's take a look at three things. Ask then listen, asking open questions, and then being curious. First up, ask then listen. You can't ask something and then keep talking. Simple, I know. But how often do we do that? I do it quite often. I'll ask and I keep talking. You need to just shut up. Ask, shut up. Listen. You might have a series of questions still going through your head. Okay, understandable. Ask the most important question and then listen, because there's going to be more questions that come up from that. And so all the questions in your head, think of what's the one most important question that I could ask out of this series. Ask it and then keep your mouth closed. Asking open questions. So once you ask and then listen, once you have identified those questions that you want to ask, you need to leave the question open. A closed question is one that has yes or no. Most of the time, we don't want yes or no answers. We want to get to the root of something. There is time for yes and no answers. So don't get me wrong. You're going to have time for a closed-ended question. But you need to try to ask those open questions. When you ask those open questions, you get a whole lot more. You get a lot more info. And folks just start spilling it. Once you ask that question, you're listening, you need to just sit in silence. Keep your mouth shut. Because silence is a very powerful tool in getting the responses and getting answers and letting them talk and get what's on their plate, off their plate, to where you can listen. Asking open questions, this is also a good time to say, does this need to be an open question or does it need to be a closed question? How could I reword that to be a closed question? Vice versa, how can I reword my closed question to be an open question? And what this is going to show you is how to clarify my question, how to simplify it. Am I asking what I really want to know? So be an observer of your questions. Lean into those open questions, but think through. Could this be a closed question? Could that closed question be an open question? And then be curious. You don't know everything, even if you think you do. I promise you, you don't. So quit pretending. This is one of the things I got caught up in, especially when I was a new manager. I didn't want people to think, oh, he doesn't know what he's doing. No, I didn't know what I was doing. I was a new manager. Of course I didn't. So don't pretend to be, because what you're doing is you're hurting yourself and you're hurting others. What you need to do is be curious. What don't I know? How can I find that out? How can I learn that? Where can I grow? This curiosity will help you know where to tweak yourself, where you need to continue to better that. Where do you need to dig into? And it'll also give you insight into what's going on. It gives you some really good questions to ask. Approach it from that place of curiosity. Because when we approach it from curiosity, we actually learn something. Yes, there can be dumb questions. But you don't know if you don't ask. You're not going to just automatically know because you just nodded and said yes. No, don't do that. I've done that. I still do that occasionally. Lean in, be curious. When we are intentional around the questions that we ask, how we ask those, the environment that we create, we're going to see results drive faster. We're going to build connections easier. So today, go ask a good question. Find out what you're not asking and really focus on that. Let's be intentional with our questionings. All right, go ask some good questions. Go tweak yourself.